Hi guys, how are you? Um, this is Nasir, and welcome back to my channel with a new book that I have just read. And this book is Crying in the Edge Mart by Michelle Zauner. Uh, there are few books that have made me cry, and the book that I cried last time was um, Khalid Hosseini's book, um, A Thousand Splendid Suns. And this book has made me cry intermittently since the passages were so emotional. And um, Michelle has written about her mother who died of cancer, and the care she took for her, but again she repented that she couldn't, you know, um, took care of her much as she would have wanted it. Michelle is a songwriter and a singer, and she was born in Seoul, Korea, but she is an American Korean, Korean American, and her music band is called Japanese Breakfast. But there's a small session of her music career is planted in this book, but what she has made us realize about the emotional journey that she has undertaken during the time her mother was, entrapped in a deadly disease. Actually, there are so many passages that I have underscored, and I have taken notings of them. But the thing is, there are things that are very much, you know, um, unfathomable, like the culture that you are introduced to. Like, it's Korean, and there are a lot of foods there. There are so many things that, one really feels a little bit of more, hard to fathom, right? So the passage that I'm going to read from this book is okay, okay. Um, Okay. I stopped pacing, frozen and winded. Across the street, a man was entering a barber shop. A group of friends sat at the outside table, laughing and ordering drinks. People were deciding on appetizers, bumming cigarettes, dropping off dry cleaning, begging dog droopings, calling off engagements. The world moved on without pause on a pleasant, warm day in May, while I stood silent, dumbfounded on a pavement, and learned that my mother was now in a grave danger of dying from an illness, and that has already killed someone I loved. Actually, her, before her mother, her aunt was killed by cancer, and she's like, reflecting the very much emotion that, um, since her aunt has passed away, now her mother will take its turn, and the disease has completely taken toll of her body. And there was one scene I couldn't really forget, and I really, sort of was very moved and was so emotional as well when her mother was so beautiful, and the mirror she saw in her face, and um, like she used to kind of you know make flaunts about her beauty. And when her mother was going through her chemotherapy sessions, and when she saw the mirror, she was completely bald. So, I mean, sorry, her hairs were completely falling, and like, it's very much traumatizing for me that I couldn't really uh, you know set myself with that thought. I really was sad. And this okay, I'm going to read some other passages for you. Actually, let me just tell you that um, Michelle has married to her boyfriend for a long time, Peter, and he was very much sincere, and he was a co-musician with her, and she was like very much in love with her. She is, of course. So, okay, just reading. Even as she was dying, my mother offered me a solace. Okay, let me just read it again. Shangwa, Shangwa, she said, it's okay. Korean words so similar, the gentle coo I heard my whole life that assured me whatever ache was at hand would pass. Even she was dying, my mother offered a solace, her instinct to nurture overwhelming any personal fear she might have felt but kept expertly hidden. She was only person in the world who could tell me that things would all work out somehow. The eye of the storm, a calm witness to the wreckage spinning out into the end. So her mother was consoling her that it will pass, and when her chemotherapy failed, and her cancer was not remission. So the last line before I round up, you know, uh, the last time I cried when uh, Michelle, the writer, acknowledged her husband, and how did I get so lucky to have tricked you into marrying me? And I love every single thing about you. Thank you most of all. Um, so okay, so my last you know it's my usual habit that I kind of write uh, at the end of every book. I write my own small reviews so that I could just retain. So I mean, there are so many emotions that I need to just speak them out to you, but I can't do because I'm so overwhelmed by the book. The book is so much attached to me that I took it to everywhere. I took it to airport, I took it to office. It was like I was like a priest who could take the Bible, you know. So everywhere, okay, like missionary. Tears and tears from time to time. During reading this one of the most riveting account of Michelle's life, it has been a very engaging time to be introduced to Korean culture, to Korean food and its lifestyle. The book has evoked so many emotions for my mother, despite our own differences. We love each other. I nearly took this book to everywhere, like I've said before, wherever I went, like a priest takes Bible with him. Although this book has not, um, landed in Pakistan. Um, this has not been introduced to any Pakistan store. It's not available. I have somehow managed to read it since I was so indulged in its story. Um, I loved the emotions planted in the book. The only one thing which I couldn't fathom was the list of foods in the book. So there was a lot of mixture of Korean foods, introduced to the book, and especially um, this particular title called "Crying in the Edge Mart." Um, the title has been driven from a mart, you know, especially Chinese, Japanese, and Korean food are available in the H Mart. So when I'm going to next time in United States, I'll definitely visit H Mart. H Mart. All right, thank you very much for patiently listening. I was mumbling. I was like, you know, taking my time to rephrase certain, sentences. But thank you for patiently listening. Hope to see you in the next review.